Minister, this is JP Ong. I want to get to the rationalization of the subsidies in a bit, but just to tag on to what Martin actually brought up a while ago, how much of growing the tax base and funding the budget will come from raising taxes versus growing the tax base, and how do you foreshadow that these two levers perhaps interacting and helping in making sure that you can fund this bigger budget?
Yeah. Well, it'll be a combination of both. I think we've heard announcement of new form of tax. One being the tax on dividends. For dividends that is above 100,000 ringgit, it will be taxed at a rate of 2%. Also, there's this discussion or announcement on enlarging the scope of the sales tax. So that's also being budgeted for. And at the same time, the big number is probably coming from the savings as well in terms of...
Okay, it looks like we're having some...
of rationalizing as well, for example, in our... sorry, can you hear us?
Yeah, you just cut out there for a second, but you're fine. Please carry on.
Okay, sorry. So, and there's also more focus on cost discipline. For example, in our ministry, there have been an announcement to merge some of the agencies under our ministry to reduce costs further. So I think, yes, I'm quite confident that we will meet the budget deficit. And we have been meeting our deficit target in 2024 as well, for 2024 as well.
So, Minister, let's talk about the rationalization of these subsidies. And now you're going to be looking to at least exclude the top 15% income earners from benefiting from these generous petrol subsidies that's really kept inflation at bay. How does Malaysia plan to enforce that, though? And because, again, at the end of the day, execution is going to be key to making sure that these subsidies actually benefit the coffers.
Yeah. Well, we've had experience. We've done one this year, which is the subsidy rationalization for diesel, where we've targeted the groups that we want to target to continue to assist, and that's been successful. Similarly, for electricity, for water, and for various other subsidies that we have looked at rationalizing. And at the same time, for petrol, we are now in discussion on how do we implement this, and that I think that's why the time frame given is towards the second half of next year.
Minister, I want to quickly jump in here. I mean, part of the plan is not just raising taxes, but also cutting the amount that the government spends on subsidies, including for fuel and also for education. I mean, you and I both know, we've been both around long enough to know that, you know, the whole issue of subsidies, whether it's Malaysia or even Indonesia, can be politically very, very sensitive. You know, the simple thinking here is, look, it's very difficult when you give people something for free. It's very, very difficult to take it away, and it becomes a political issue. How are you offsetting the impact of rationalizing subsidies for the man in the street?
Yeah. Well, again, as as JP mentioned just now, and I think we talked about subsidy rationalization is more towards giving subsidies to those who deserve to get those subsidies. So, for example, for petrol subsidy, 85% of Malaysians will continue to get that subsidy. So similarly, for all those other initiatives that we've done so far regarding targeted subsidies, many of those who deserve to get that continues to get, and I mean 85% of Malaysians will continue to get that, and I think people understand that, and we also need to ensure that money that we save being rechanneled towards other productive purposes, building more hospitals, building more schools, etc.